Today I'm going to be doing a response video from A Better View called A Letter from an African to an African American. And when I first saw this video, I must confess, ladies and gentlemen, it pulled at my heartstrings. It really did. Like, I have to say, this was very well done. And the person narrating this deserves an Oscar, because she pulled off an Oscar-winning performance. However, as I dug a little bit deeper and really thought about this video, I said to myself, okay, you're admitting that you basically left us high and dry. What are you going to do about it? And that's what I'm really going to get into with this video. So just stick around, y'all.
Those words proceeded out of your mouth. You're right, and I understand your sentiment. I never saw you growing up, but your presence always lingered. Mommy was happy. Her joy, however, was gone. Whenever she was silent, I knew she was thinking of you. Sometimes at night, I'd hear her weeping as she prayed for you. She prayed for you to be protected. She prayed that they would treat you right. She prayed you were loved. She prayed to take all your tears so you'd not feel the pain, without expressly saying it. Our parents compare me to you. They wonder what could have been if you were still here.
That is a question I ask myself every day. If we were still on the continent, what would have happened? Because we know that Black Americans have achieved many things without the support, the aid, or any of the, how would I put this? Any of the backing from Africa. We have achieved many things, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just talking socially like soul food or interracial marriage. I'm talking about civil rights. We kicked off human rights for everybody on this planet. We've invented things like the cell phone, the street lights, the air conditioning, peanut butter, and so on and so forth. So I wonder, what could we have done if we had the backing of the, quote, African diaspora? If we had the backing of the continent and its people, what could we have done with that level of support? Because in my last video, and it was a short clip, it was on YouTube Shorts, I showed you all the amount of resources that the continent has. And so, as I ask this question, I ask you all, what do you think we could have done with all of that if we had Big Brother Africa helping us along the way?
After every achievement of yours, they wonder if it would have been better if you were here.
It would have been.
So even though I have never seen you, I know you.
No, you don't.
Even though I was not there when it happened, I still bear the brunt of it.
She's right. Hold on. She's right about that, because Africa is a shithole. And I normally don't agree with the former President Donald Trump about this, but he is right about one thing. Africa is a shithole. Just like every other third world nation that does not have us, that doesn't have ADOS, it's a shithole. This is why they want to come here. And my response to that is, you need to build up your own lands and your own nations. Nothing is wrong with your soil. Nothing is wrong with the land that you are on. You need to build it up. And I say that not just to the African, but to the Mexican, to the Honduran, to the Ukrainian, to just about anybody who says they need to come here. I say, no, you need to stay there and build up your land.
Teased by a new family. They say, from grace to grass. They definitely live in a shithole.
You do.
They look at our family, your family, and say, this phoenix
Well, we rose from the ashes. Your ancestors kidnapped, they captured our ancestors, and they sold them to white people. And for nothing. Well, almost nothing, actually. I was watching BSIA, Black Skin is Amazing's video, and he actually showed people what the Africans traded in exchange for our ancestors, and it's pitiful. Things like glass bottles and plates, things you could easily make nowadays, and I'm sure you could have made back then because, again, you have all the resources, but again, you did not want to do it. But we rose from the ashes. Like I said, we rose from the ashes despite being cut off from the motherland, despite being separated from you. We still rose, and we created our own culture. We created our own inventions, and we surpassed you. This is why so many black immigrants want to move here, because we got this place popping, as BSIA would say.
Let us give them breadcrumbs. That way, they'll forever be dependent on us. Do you know what hurts me the most? They are the same people who abducted you.
They didn't just abduct us, lady. You participated, your ancestors participated in the capture, enslavement, and the trade of black Americans. And that's the truth. If you don't believe me, y'all, look up my great-grandfather, the Nigerian slave trader. That's just one piece of evidence that will prove to you that no, it wasn't just the white man who did this, it was also them as well. Because there's no way a few white people could have done this without the help of Africans.
They took you away. Am I playing their playing game?
Yes.
No, I'm just stating facts. Yes, Mom and Dad should have done better. They should have protected you with their lives because you are our treasure. They should not have entertained your new family. Granted, they came in sheep's clothing, but that's no excuse. We should have sniffed the smell of wolves. I hate that we still take their breadcrumbs. We are the only family that can stand on its own without help from others.
You're right. You can stand without help from others. Again, check out the short that I created. It's only like 32 seconds, but in that short, all I did was show you all the vast amount of resources that Africa has. Natural resources and renewable resources that the continent has. There is no reason that the continent needs to have any outside help for that matter. But, you know, like I said in a prior video, they just don't have it in them. They don't have that warrior spirit, so to speak. And I'll be frank, I'm not a warrior, but I'm a fairly talented black dude. I know how to cook with the best of them. I would get in front of Gordon Ramsay himself, and I would still outcook this man. You tell me to cook an authentic Texas chili, and you tell him to cook an authentic Texas chili, I would beat him out any day of the week.
And I know that sounds obnoxious, but it is the truth. The other side of that truth, however, is that even though we have all the resources, we are still dependent on them.
You have no reason to be.
The neighborhood has given us a nickname. They call us the third world.
You are.
We cannot get our shit together.
You
We
can't.
cannot seem to rebuild what we had. You have left an indelible scar impossible to erase. Our parents and the rest of our extended family have been trying to come to visit your family through means unfitting for humans.
They have done not a goddamn thing to try to bring us back, ladies and gentlemen. They haven't sent one boat. They haven't sent one plane. They haven't sent one representative over to the United States to bring black American people back. And they're not offering anything for us. Think about this. You know, when I talk about us moving from one place to another, I want you to think about what is the advantages of moving from one area to another. Like, realistically, think about this. Whether it is for you want to be closer to your job, that's understandable. You want to be closer to your spouse, again, somewhat understandable. When we talk about moving from one continent to another on this planet, what is the advantage in us going there? What is the continent of Africa offering Black Americans specifically? Are they offering us land? Are they offering us homes? Are they offering us businesses? Are they offering us dual citizenship? All of the things that would be required for us to be reunified? I don't think so. But I mean, I could be wrong about that. I mean, let me know in the comments section.
It is ludicrous that it is oftentimes to the same means they took you away from us. This time, however, you're taking the same routes voluntarily. You ask why? We ask why. They ask why. We all don't seem to have the answer, but know for sure that there's something more than meets the eye. Isn't it interesting that even though we have the same
Stop
biological
smoking,
parents,
dude.
I did not know what to call you. You look just like me. That melanin cannot be mistaken for anything else. Our features are so similar. I feel it when you smile. Your wins are my wins. At least, that's how it feels.
No, our wins are our own wins, lady. Africa has cut us off. We have no connection to the continent whatsoever. We're not connected politically, we're not connected socially, and we're not connected economically to the continent. Meaning we don't have family, we don't have businesses or any kind of financial ventures in Africa, and we cannot participate in any of the elections, any of the democratic elections at least, that occur in Africa. Like in Ghana, for instance, we cannot vote for the next Ghanaian president. So no, we are completely independent of you, and our wins are our own. They're not yours. You cannot claim that we are all one whenever things are good and then just say no, we're not whenever things are bad. We either are or we not. And in this instance, we are not. We are our own separate group. And the reason you want to say your wins are my wins is because we know that Africa has achieved nothing in the past 400 to 500 years. They've achieved absolutely fucking nothing. They haven't built nothing. They don't have any sort of automotive industry. They don't have any clothing industry other than the dashikis you guys wear. They are not the main exports of anything Americans use, Europeans use, Australians use. They have achieved nothing with all this unfeathered freedom you guys have and all the resources you guys have. You have achieved nothing. This is why you want to come to the United States. And we're saying, no, we don't accept you as our own.
Even the way you dance reveals your ancestry. You dance to the rhythm of the beat.
No, we dance to the rhythm of Ados beats. We dance to the rhythm of our music icons. We dance to Michael Jackson. We dance to Prince. We dance to Diana Ross and the Supremes, to the Temptations. We dance to even more modern black artists like Mariah Carey. We don't dance to Nigerian or Ghanaian artists. She got it twisted, ladies and gentlemen.
If we can do that effortlessly, we are connected. Even if you refuse to admit it, there's something about me that draws you to me and vice versa. I do not need a 23andMe kit to know we have the same roots, but I'm at a loss as to what to call you. Sibling, friend, or stranger?
Stranger is more appropriate in this case. Even though we have some biological connection to one another, stranger is more appropriate because we're not siblings, we're not friends, we're not family, as people will say. Even though we have made a concerted effort to try to bridge the gap for the past 50 plus years, you have done nothing. So I can't call you friend or sibling or family. You are none of those things to me.
I have not recovered from it, and neither have you. I am engulfed by brokenness. Something is missing. Something I lost. Something I never knew I needed until it was taken from me, stolen from me.
Given away. Because Africans also participated in the slave trade. And that is not something we're going to let you forget. If ever we come to the United States and say, look, we demand reparations, for instance, we're going to tell them we demand it not just from them, but from you as well.
Think about you, you know. We allow this to happen. What was
Mostly tribalism, but I'm going to continue on.
my quota? Did I do this to you?
Yes.
Did I allow this to be done to you?
Yes.
My own brother? My own sister?
Yes.
My own family?
Yes.
What could I have done differently?
Not sold us.
Could we have changed the narrative?
Yes, you could have.
Let me be honest with you. Sometimes I get mad at you for allowing yourself to be taken. I get mad at our parents because they did not fight harder. Why didn't they devise a plan and follow you? Why had they, whether sadly or in a grandiose manner, contributed to giving you away?
Because they don't have that in them. They don't have that spirit within them. They don't have that fight within them in any sense of the word. That's why they didn't come after us. They've had over 400 fucking years to try and get us back. They've refused to do so. They simply refused to do so. They were content, but now that they see that African Americans, Black Americans, ADOS, FBA, Native Black, whatever you call it, people who have been distant from the continent for at least 400 years are popping up in this bitch. Now they want us back. And we're saying no, not without something in return. We ain't going to the fucking continent. We're not all Pan-Africanists here. We're not all interested in trying to help you. You got 1.5 billion people. You should be able to help yourselves. And you have all the resources and all of the land. So for me, I look at this as there's no reason why Africa cannot be something great. I see Africa almost as Wakanda. I know she's going to mention this later because I saw the video prior to making this, but Africa should look more like Wakanda, you know, the fictional city, but they just don't have it in them.
Above all that, I get mad at myself the most. Why? Why was I not taking? I have asked myself this question more times than I am willing to admit. I know it is a silly question. You are probably wondering, how dare you ask that? Do you know what we had to go through? Do you know what we saw? Do you know the PTSD that runs through our veins?
No, they don't know what this goes through because Africa has never stuck its neck out for Black Americans. It has never, despite everything that we have gone through the Civil War, slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow. At none of these times did the people of Africa stick its neck out and say, you know what, you can't treat our distant cousins like that. You can't treat our brothers and sisters like trash like that. We gonna step up if you do. But they've never done that. They've never done that because they don't see us as our own. And, I'm sorry, as their own. And we are saying, okay, fine. You're not our own. You are not our own. Problem solved. We're not of African descent. Well, at least in terms of having a connection to the continent. All we're doing is confirming that. We do not have a connection with you anymore. But frankly, I don't think we ever did.
Do you know the tears we have shed, the lynching, the disgrace, the shame, the assault? Do you know what it means to be descendants of enslaved men and women? Do you know what it means to be arranged like sardines underneath a ship with no breathing space? Do you know what it feels like to be placed in dungeons where you poop, pee, and have your period all in the same room? Do you know what it feels like not to see the light of day? Do you even know what it feels like to be pitched against each other? Do you have any idea what it means to be disgusted by the color of your skin because of what it connotes to others? Do you know what it means to be part of the minority wherever you go? Do you know what it means for your future to be cut out for you from day one because the system was not created with you in mind? Do you know what it means not to be represented, for your lips, nose, hair, and skin color to be a recipe for unwarranted jokes? I wish I could say I know how it all feels, but no, I cannot. I cannot
First
imagine
honest
your
thing.
predicaments because I have not been in your shoes. They took your name, they took your identity, they took your language, they took your belongingness, and I know I'll never understand what you went through.
But guess what? We created a new one. We created a new one, and we're saying, no, you will not be included. But moving on.
Not begin to fathom what you go through on a daily basis. I cannot put myself in your shoes. I can tell you, however, that being in my shoes is not a field trip either. This is no Wakanda. Something was taken from me too.
I gotta back that up. Hold on. I knew she was gonna say that already, but I still get kind of a chuckle when she says that. Let me play that.
Tell you, however, that being in my shoes is not a field trip either. This is no Wakanda. Something was taken from me too. My vibranium. A part of me.
Oh, I'm gonna do that one more time. One more time.
This is no Wakanda. Something was taken from me too. My vibranium. A part of me.
Oh, excuse me,
Losing
y'all.
you has caused a hole in the center of our hearts that nothing can seem to fill.
Yeah, because you
No
gave
matter
away
how hard we
they gave away their best and their brightest. They gave away some of the strongest men and women out there. We survived the worst atrocities on this planet. The Jews got nothing on Black Americans. We survived 250 years of enslavement, 250 years of chattel fucking slavery. And then another 150 plus years of Jim Crow, redlining, lynchings, discrimination, all of these things. No other group on this planet is better than us. They gave away their strongest, their brightest, their most compassionate, their most creative, and now they're regretting it.
try, and trust me, we have. We cannot go back to what and who we used to be before your new family took you. We can go back and forth on who suffers the most and who has been through the most pain. But this is not the Oppression Olympics.
Well, I could say yes, it is. I mean, we are the most suffered people on the planet. No other group can beat us out. Not even in the Bible they can beat us out. No other group can beat ADOS when it comes to suffering and being able to survive that suffering. But we didn't survive all in one piece, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't come out of this in one piece. We didn't come network like other groups did. We had to do this on our own.
How will that help us to heal and connect again? We both know you need to find your roots and be firmly attached to the soil, and I need to find my branches.
Okay. If you are saying we need to find our roots and be attached to the soil, all right, let's play into the Pan-Africanist game here. Are you going to offer us land? Are you going to offer the 44 plus million ADOS people land in some part of Africa? It doesn't matter if it's Ghana, Libya, Nigeria, Egypt, Madagascar, South Africa, wherever. Are you going to offer us land? Are you going to offer us property? Are you going to offer us business grants, dual citizenship, education grants so that we can learn the language and the customs? No? like I thought.
What does flourish? We cannot do one without the other. We need to be willing to make amends, to heal, and to accept. I need you to know and understand that we are proud of you.
They are proud of us.
But you keep pulling through.
That's another honest thing she's saying.
I heard you say the other day, do not call me African American. I am Black American.
Yes.
I've got nothing to do with Africa.
We don't.
I've never been there. I've never eaten their meals. I do not know the culture. There's nothing that makes me help.
Well, I've eaten one African dish in my entire life at an expensive restaurant, but that doesn't make me African by any stretch of the imagination. Outside of complexion, genetics, and phenotypical expressions, I'm not African, ladies and gentlemen. And I must admit, I did like that dish. It was very good. It was a goat dish. I never thought I'd like goat in a million years, but other than that, I'm not African. We have no connection to you, and you have no connection to us.
African. I wept as you spoke. I wept as those words proceeded out of your mouth. You're right, and I understand you. There's nothing I can say that will appease you. But I am sorry.
Actions ultimately speak louder than words, ladies and gentlemen. If she was going to say something like, hey, look, I'm going to speak with the 54 countries in Africa and actually get, I'm sorry, I don't think it's 54. It's definitely over 50, but I don't think it's 54. Forgive me. But if I was to speak to the 50 plus countries in Africa and ultimately try and get our leaders to come up with some way of bringing you back, I would say, okay, great. As long as we get to be part of the discussion and be able to dictate at least some of the terms. One of the terms would be dual citizenship. If we're going to play on the Pan-Africanist game, we would say, yes, we want dual citizenship to at least 3 of your countries. We would also want your leaders to come up with a reparations package that is exclusive to Black Americans, that is not just symbolic, but actually has a financial compensation to it, and you would work with it in order to execute and deliver that package. But nothing so far. Nothing.
I truly am. I wish this had never happened. I wish we had remained as we were. Our own culture, our own names, our own traditions, our own way of life. I wish we were basking in our own perfect imperfections. But I also know it is what it is. How can we bridge the gap that has been created over a period of 400 years?
It starts with you. It ultimately starts with you. I have to say that animately. It starts with action on the continent's part. We have taken every action on this earth. We have stuck our necks out for other groups of people, including ourselves, and we have said, okay, we want this, we want that, we need this, we need that. But more importantly, we have paved the way for other groups of people, whether it be women's rights, LGBTQ, Jewish rights. We paved the way for all of them. And now we are saying, hey, Big Brother Africa, we need your help. You have the resources. You have the people. You've got the land. We need you to stick your necks out for us. But we know you're not going to do that.
I believe it starts when we both open our arms wide. Come back home and claim your birthright. You do not have to stay, but just come and connect to your roots. I know all your emotions will come running.
I'll come when every Black immigrant, every Nigerian, Ghanaian, every Ugandan, every Libyan, every Egyptian, every Nigerian, every black immigrant who comes from the continent goes back, that's when I'll come. I'll come and connect. I'll entertain you then, but until they go, should I say, sorry, I'm not going.
Back to you. The sadness, the hate, the anguish, the anxiety. And when it does surface, feel it all. Do not try to stop it. Feel it all. Take it all in and release it. I'll be right here, standing by your side. You have shoulders to cry on now. Shoulders that look like yours. Shoulders that are willing to carry the weight, willing to admit their wrongs, willing to accept you, just as you are. Everyone grieves differently. If you're ready to let go, so am I. If you're not ready, that's okay. I'm still here, ready and willing to listen to you. My doors will always be wide open.
This was truly an Oscar-winning performance. I have to give these people that. They really do deserve an award. But that's all I've got for y'all today. Have a good day, night, morning, evening, wherever you're at in this world. Peace and love always. And I might actually do a response video similar to this. So please look out for that. Peace and love always. Bye-bye. Ah, shit. Sorry.